It was a Tuesday night when they slipped a tracker into my front door lock. Not some cheap gadget you'd snag online, but a military-grade beast with encryption that screamed government secrets. My signal detection system caught it at exactly 2:37 a.m., logging a transmission signature tied to classified NSA programs. I'd been at Willow Creek Estates for just 9 days, thinking I'd finally found a quiet corner to rebuild my life. Little did I know, someone had already zeroed in on me, and this wasn't just about nosy neighbors. Drop a comment below and tell me where you're reading this from, because this story's about to unravel a surveillance nightmare run by the woman who once torched my world. I'd moved to Willow Creek with big dreams. After 5 years of clawing my way back from a ruined military intelligence career, my signal jamming business was Thrive VY and Gledget Tech for security firms, MOVY, ESETs, and privacy buffs. The neighborhood was all manicured lawns and houses that whispered wealth. I'd scraped together a down payment over 3 years, CRA VYing peace. But on day one, a 96-page HOA handbook landed in my hands, packed with rules that set my nerves on edge. Register all wireless to VYCES with the HOA's tech officer. Notify them 48 hours before hosting more than 5 guests, complete with names and contacts. Worst of all, buried on page 79, residents consented to random safety inspections with 0 limits. My old military instructor's words echoed. The worst prisons are the ones where you think you're free. I should have bolted, but the calm of Willow Creek and my own stubborn hope kept me rooted. I told myself every fancy neighborhood had quirks. I just keep my head down and build my business. Then I met Evelyn Carter, the HOA president. Tall, polished, with silver-streaked hair and a smile that never touched her eyes, she strolled up with her shadow, Marcus Tate, while I unloaded my gear. "Mr. Logan Hayes, welcome," she said, her gaze sharpening as she clocked my boxes labeled signal dampeners. Something about her felt familiar, like a half-forgotten ghost, but I couldn't place it. She was oddly charming, inviting me to a welcome party, asking about my work with a curiosity that dug too deep into my tech specs and clients. At the party, I overheard Evelyn on a call, tossing out subject Delta 9, a term straight out of my NSA days. My gut screamed. Coincidence? Maybe, but my instincts honed in signal intelligence ops overseas were on fire. Later, I swept my laptop and found traces of slick hacking attempt, the kind only pros with military training could pull off. Outside, I spotted 3 high-res cameras disguised as garden lights, all aimed at my office windows. Then my neighbor, Sarah Collins, slipped over, her voice low, warning me about residents who'd vanished overnight, selling their homes in a hurry with no word. The old paranoia from my whistleblowing days, the ones that cost me my career, crept back. Was I seeing shadows, or had I stumbled into a surveillance trap? That night, my sensors picked up weird signals from my front door. I pried open the lock and found it. A tracker or NSA-level tech that shouldn't exist outside a Black Ops lab. As I photographed it, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. The Kabul photo was stunning. Shame about Ethan. My blood ran cold. Only 5 people knew about that photo from Kabul. 2 were dead, 2 were abroad, and the 5th. Could it be Evelyn? Ethan Gray, my old colleague, had supposedly taken his own life after the NSA scandal I'd exposed. If this was her, I'd walked right into my enemy's den. I became obsessed, piecing together clues about Evelyn. Her emails had timestamps precise to the millisecond, a spook's habit. Her speech slipped into military jargon CI/VY Lien's wouldn't touch. Then a misdirected email to Marcus mentioned Project Orion, the code name for the domestic spying program I'd refused to join, ending my career. The email wasn't just a clue, it was a bombshell, detailing upgraded biometric models and preemptive BHA-VY oral flagging. This wasn't just watching people, it was targeting them before they even knew they were a threat. My skin crawled at the cold language calling neighbors test subjects. Digging deeper, I found 3 prior residents of my house all tech experts had left within 6 months. The last, a cybersecurity guy named Michael Vance, had vanished entirely, his digital footprint erased. Sarah whispered more in my soundproof garage. No big parties, mandatory HOA Wi-Fi, and those who asked questions didn't stick around. A retired judge, Henry Walsh, 3 doors down, shared his own suspicions over chess. Evelyn's tied to private security firms, he said, moving his night. Millions spent on security with no records. He casually mentioned an FBI contact working a case called Operation Silver Shield, his eyes locking on mine. Allies were out there. I tore apart the tracker and confirmed it was NSA tech, upgraded beyond what I'd known. Then Evelyn and VY-ted me to join the HOA Security Committee of VY-Usley to keep tabs on me. Overhearing her tell Marcus to watch Hayes closely, I teamed up with Sarah to sweep her house. We found over 20 listening to VYCS, even in her bathroom. "They're gaslighting me," she whispered, tears welling. "Files vanish, things move." Pine View wasn't a neighborhood. It was a lab. I set a trap, faking a phone call about a shady client project, dripping with tech jargon. Hours later, my hidden cameras caught Marcus planting a key logger in my garage. I didn't remove it. Instead, I fed it fake files about Operation Eclipse, a sketchy security system that sounded just illegal enough to bait Evelyn. 2 days later, she summoned me to the HOA center. In a sterile room, cameras in every corner, she slid a folder across the table printouts of my fake files, straight from my rigged computer. "Gotcha." As I left, Dr. Laura Gray-Ethan's widow approached, pressing a card into my hand with an address. 7 tonight. Come alone. At a coffee shop miles away, Laura revealed Ethan's death wasn't suicide. He'd uncovered Prometheus, an AI beyond Orion, tested on communities like ours. It didn't just monitor, it built cases, faking EVY Denke to ruin lives. Sarah, who'd tag along, asked, "What's Prometheus?" Laura's decoded journal from Ethan laid it bare. Deepfake VY Deos, fabricated emails, autonomous target selection. Ethan had confronted Evelyn and was dead 3 days later. Evelyn's surveillance ramped up. Marcus tailed me everywhere, and she and VY-ted me to her mansion to collaborate. A trap, but I went, probing her server room on tech, Marvel monitoring all of Willow Creek. As I left, a jittery tech, Owen Brooks, slipped me a USB with a warning. A scientist who knew too much died. Back home, my door was ajar, a note on my table. 24 hours to join me, or you're my enemy, Hayes. The USB held emails of Evelyn selling Prometheus data to foreign powers, due lot $25 million for vulnerability profiles to exploit citizens. She wasn't just spying, she was auctioning lives. Relocating to Henry's safe house, I met FBI agent Rachel Holt, working Silver Shield. She needed hard proof to bypass Evelyn's DOJ allies. Laura brought Ethan's journal, exposing Protocol Salem, Prometheus framing targets with fake crimes. Evelyn had already started it against me, planting malware, EVY Denke. My accounts froze, clients got warnings, and Marcus raided my house. Owen, coerced by threats to his family, confirmed the USB's tracking software was a decoy for real data. Time was running out. We hacked Willow Creek's system, feeding false resident data to confuse Evelyn's team. I leaked proof of illegal surveillance to neighbors, sowing distrust. Laura called, panicked, as cameras in her home moved on their own. Protocol Salem's framing me. Glass shattered, and the line went dead. We planned a rescue, using my jammers to create a 30-foot dead zone. At 3 a.m., Henry, Sarah, and I hit Laura's house. We found her bound in the basement, Marcus guarding. Outnumbered, he fled, warning, she's got plans for everything. Laura's notes confirmed Salem's horror. AI-crafted EVY Denke, so real it fooled courts. Evelyn had used it to destroy 14 people, including Ethan. A warrant hit for my arrest on fake cybercrime charges. Owen warned Evelyn planned to plant servers in my house to frame me for financial crimes. I wavered, tempted to run, but Ethan's memory and my team's grit kept me fighting. If Prometheus spread, thousands would suffer. With FBI covert support, we planned to raid Evelyn's operations center. Owen gave us codes, but the system had biometric locks and weight-sensitive floors. A thunderstorm gave us cover, my jammers faking sensor readings. In tunnels beneath Willow Creek, we dodged motion sensors, heartbeats loud in the dark. We subdued Marcus and 2 guards, but time was tight. The center was a sci-fi nightmare. Screens tracking residents' every move, my name topping a threat neutralization list at 78 Fantram. I downloaded data, ing Evelyn's treason selling Prometheus to dictators. But she locked the system, forcing me to ditch 10 Fantram of the files to save the rest. Alarms blared. Evelyn's voice taunted over the intercom. No one believes a disgraced whistleblower. Owen was caught. Henry captured. I hacked Prometheus, turning its cameras on Evelyn, streaming her crimes to federal agencies. We stormed her office, finding Sarah and Owen hostage. Evelyn aimed a pistol, ranting about national security, admitting Ethan's murder and her plan to create criminals. Sarah's plea broke Marcus's loyalties. He disarmed Evelyn as I triggered sprinklers. We streamed Prometheus's data to Willow Creek's VYCS, exposing the truth. Mercenaries chased us through tunnels, my jammers barely keeping them at bay. Evelyn triggered a self-destruct, and I chose to save the data over chasing her. Laura tracked her to an airfield, where Rachel's FBI team arrested her for treason. Residents, horrified, demanded answers. A girl thanked me. You stopped the cameras. Evelyn faced charges of murder, espionage, and treason. I forgave her, not for her, but to free myself. Prometheus was dismantled, and I helped rebuild Willow Creek's ethical security. Sarah joined my business, Owen aided the FBI, and I consulted on privacy laws. At Ethan's grave, I left a cobble photo. We won, I whispered. My phone pinged a transparent alert from the news system. No one was watched anymore. Was Evelyn a monster or a patriot gone too far? Should I have chased her instead of the data? Could Prometheus's tech ever be used ethically, or is it too dangerous? Comment below, like, and subscribe. What would you have done?